As you all know, we've been covering MSNBC and all the talent over at CNN for a long time. Welcome to John Mike Keen. Sometimes we get together and watch that genius guy's show. His name is Doug Titanic. But right now we'll watch these other guys talking about how MSNBC is done.
This is out just a little while ago. The ratings for MSNBC, Morning Joe down 39.6.
Morning Joe is down. Their ratings are down to 39.6. That does indeed mean that some John Mike Keen shows have outperformed Morning Joe. Now, even though Morning Joe is collapsing and will probably lose his career, at least we still have the rest of the MSNBC talent to reference all the time so we can keep this channel going. People like Reid.
Andrea Mitchell down 39.7. Reid down 54.6. Lawrence O'Donnell down 60.6. Stephanie Ruhle, the big winner, down 67% in ratings.
That means all these guys, they've lost more than half their audience. We're going to document that Titanic, the Titanic ship of lies known as MSNBC, as they go down. They got hit by an iceberg on election night, and the whole world woke up to these people have done nothing but lie to us about Trump. Everything they said about him is false.
They lost the trust of the American people. I mean, Chris Wallace this morning announced that he's leaving CNN to go to a platform.
That's a kind of hidden insult by Spicer there, that Chris Wallace is leaving CNN to go to a platform, implying that CNN is not a platform of any kind. It's like going, Chris Wallace just announced that he's leaving CNN to go to an actual news network.
I've been asked probably by about 10 to 12 reporters in the last 48 to 72 hours, how did we miss this again? And I said, we didn't. You did.
And this comes down to, where do you get your information from? Look, I wasn't 100% that Trump was going to win. I mean, I predicted it. I was pretty sure he did. But you're listening to all this gaslighting going, are they telling the truth? Even though I keep looking around and I use my own two eyes and I see people excited for Trump. I don't see anybody excited for Kamala Harris, but my eyes must be lying to me.
And I say this respectfully, but I was just like, look, here are the guests that we've had on. Here are the conversations. Here are the places. We didn't miss this. You did. And the idea that you're still thinking that we missed it, 7 days out from an election, shows you how bad they are at what they do.
Hey, and we covered the two-way podcast all the way through the election to make sure that, because we tried to find the best results and underline them as true, which we did in this case. And then we got out the worst results from MSNBC and mocked them and make sure that you knew that they were bold-faced lying to you.
There's a lack of trust that exists. And as Dan said, very, very apropos, that there people are going, great, I'll tune you out and I'll go find somewhere else.
But the thing that bugs me more is, like, MSNBC and your Democrat friends, they're still gaslighting everyone. They're still saying Kamala Harris, it was close. It wasn't a blowout. Or they might even be doing the election, the big steal thing, where they're saying like, hey, Elon Musk stole this election. They will not admit that there's a mandate, or they'll say our actual platform, the Democrat Party, was fine, but we just had a bad messenger in Kamala Harris. We needed a better messenger. They're still lying. And we here, John Mike Keen, we're still bringing you the truth.
The very same executives and producers and anchors and correspondents and writers who covered and participated in the cover-up of the Biden decline. And then after the decline had to be exposed and acknowledged, never acknowledged their role in it. All those people are covering the Trump administration. They also covered the campaign. I don't understand how they think they can cover the Trump campaign fairly, or Trump administration fairly, or be seen as covering the Trump administration fairly, if they don't acknowledge their role in the conspiracy and their failure to acknowledge it.
They've discredited themselves as a source of truth that you can believe, right? How can you believe people who've been lying to you for 4 years? And I'm talking about any Democrat that told you that Biden was fine. It's like, you can't listen to them when they come to you and say, hey, I've got news on Trump. I just want you to know this is what Trump did. This is what his agenda is. This is what his intentions are. You cannot believe them if they told you Joe Biden is sharpened as attack. Now, here's Trump going and having a good time with Joe Biden. Joe Biden invited him into the White House, which I think is very kind. And it's even kinder of Trump to show up. Because remember, Biden called him a fascist, sicked Merrick Garland on him, trying to undermine his election, tried to get him imprisoned. That it's very kind and generous and manly and big of Trump to go and sit down and shake his hand.
Well, Mr. President-elect and former President, thank you. Donald, congratulations.
Thank you.
And looking forward to having like we said, smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So
good.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Joe.
You're welcome.
That is a very important moment for America to take in, and I really enjoy that from both these gentlemen. Biden is so far gone. Look, there's nothing you can do about it. Just let the guy go. We're going to cut the ice flow off, and off he goes into the great beyond. And I do think Trump needs to take a second look at Merrick Garland's complicity in those crimes and Jack Smith and all those guys. And otherwise, Trump, it's going to be a brand new world for him. It's a brand new future, guys. Nothing like this has been done with the U.S. government as far as reforming us than we've had in the last 100 years. I'm John Mike Keene.